Anybody knows how is thank you? Spasiba. 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 This is thank you. And there is another very useful word, which is how much. Skolka. Skolka. It is very important. This is a very important word, right? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth, their daughter, and all the Russian czars, they lived there. So they spent some summer months in this residence. Some of them, like this residence. Others preferred Peterhof. Different people preferred different palaces and different residences. But anyway, it was used by all the generations of. Now there is no train station there. There is a trading and entertainment center. There are some movie theaters, many shops. Gambling places. Many years, during the Soviet period. Now it is active. And Moskovsky or Moscow Prospect. Moscow Prospect. They were, they were destroyed, and it was not used as a church. So the domes are completely new. And in the 18th and the 19th century, there were many Russian-Turkish wars. And this church, triumphal arch, was built to commemorate the victory in the beginning of the 19th century. In 1826-28, there was another war during the reign of Nicholas I. And, are here in the victorious Russian army returning back from the front line. Originally, it was a wooden, then later period.
The latitude?
60th.
This is, we are on the cross of longitude and latitude, so longitude is 30th and 60th, 60 degrees, yeah. Russian National Library, which was the first public library in Russia. I showed you yesterday on Nevsky Prospect, the main building, and this big building where the bas-reliefs on the top of the facade. I would say this is one of the most typical Stalinist buildings in St. Petersburg, with the columns and the balconies and this bas-relief. But now the people are joking that he is hitchhiking on this Moskovsky Prospect. Nobody stops. The other people call it the ballet dancer. From this angle, it's not actually a guidebook, it's a book where all the monuments, all the sculptures, busts and memorial plugs are mentioned. And it starts with Lenin, and there are about 150 of them. In Moscow there were 250, right. So I think about a dozen of them survived the perestroika and this new period. So I can, I know around the city about a dozen of Lenin statues. This is maybe one of the most attractive from the artistic point of view. But anyway, the inscription on the granite wall says, "To your heroic deed, Leningrad," to your heroism, Leningrad. And it's not only the part which you can see over the level of the ground, but this is the underground memorial as well, which was unveiled when we celebrated 30th anniversary of the Victory Day, 9th of May, 1975. 1970. Years ago, there was a big celebration for the 60th anniversary of the Victory Day. Apartments are quite big and nice there. In this area, very comfortable ones.
How much does it cost? Do you have any idea?
During the perestroika, not only in St. Petersburg, Leningrad, but all around Russia, the government decided that the people paid so much rent, and everybody realized that almost nobody can bridge. And the part of this bridge is ready. Are in the Gulf of Finland, and those of you who are joining the tour of Peterhof, we are going. And you 144. This is not the date of the war, but the date of the which was built here in the beginning of the 20th century when they celebrated.
Catherine's palace.
They don't have
They
noble
were not of a
origin.
royal origin.
Yeah.
They were all
They
peasants.
always
They were not peasants, they were nobility.
No, no, no.
So we 那个王中山，麻烦你帮我们照张相片吧。来来来，赶快跟客人过来合个照。So usually the main staircase was in one of the wings of the palace, so that the visitor enters that and walks all along the gallery, seeing the golden suite of rooms. So this staircase was installed here in the palace in the middle of the 19th century by the navigator Italian. Ippolito Moneghetti was his name, and he worked for Alexander II. In this was the suite of rooms. They are almost completely destroyed during the Second World War, and reconstructed in the post-war period, and we are going to see some of the rooms which belong to the original. They were wood carvings in the 18th century, and they are stored as wood carvings because of the period of the 20th century after the war. So according to the reason scientific and historical information, they not only see the centuries and the destructions, but they will the same materials and the same instrumental. So all of these are everything which are made in Holland, made in Germany, in different European countries, and you can see how Rastrelli decorated this room with the pilasters. The pilasters are made of foil paper. This is originally it was silk interior, it was the whole complex of works. So the portraits in the beautiful golden frames, you can see here the first. So a few words about her. She was of the most humble possible origin. She was a commoner. She was the merchant girl who accompanied this original collection of paintings which decorated the walls of this interior before the war. There are over 130 paintings representing 6 Western European schools. Look at the wonderful floors are beautiful here. About 20 different types of woods, both exotic, valuable woods and local cheaper ones, cheaper types were used for the floors in this palace. You can see ebony, you can see mahogany, rose tree, chestnut wood, so on and so on. So talking about the layout of paintings, we're not used to this layout. We don't put paintings on the walls like that now, right? They are in separate frames usually, but this layout, which is called tapestry layout, was very fashionable in the middle of the 18th century. They were not very respectful to the paintings and to the artists. So if it didn't fit the size, they would cut them out. No gold, just slight touches of gold, like the decorations over the curtains, this fire irons, right? By the way, look, the fashion for the heaters changed, right? Yeah. No more stoves. English fashion for the fireplaces, and this one is decorated with a beautiful white Carrara marble, Italian marble. On the table, there are pieces from the special landscapes, other pieces of applied art which, belong to this palace or maybe to Alexander's palace previously, but were not used for those interiors. They survived the war, but, they do not decorate the main interiors. The collection of decoration. And as you're leaving this interior, please look at these tables. They are decorated with different
Catherine the Great.
The tabletops are made of lapis. Are
Nicholas I.
because of this wedding. Beautiful, just beautiful pieces of art, some table decorations, cloth, sword. In the 19th century, the generation of Alexander II, I would say. And lapis lazuli, but you can see different designs, more classical, right? And embroideries come to fashion, embroideries on the fabrics upholstering the furniture. Also the carpets, and the carpets were embroidered, right? Be careful what you have here. By the same Scottish architect who did some of the classical rooms here. And this is just a garden pavilion, which was, built so the captain could walk, when it was raining, or when the sun was too hot.
这连个给钱的地方都没有吗？
他没放那个，哦，在这里。
放在这儿。
Some more military equipment.
You see, this is a bonus. This is, the addition to this tour.
I see.
A little bit of beauty and a little bit of military stuff, right?
This is extra, free of charge.
This is free of charge. Yeah, this is complimentary.
No more tanks.
So they are called Suvorovцы and Nahimovцы. Yeah, and there are several schools like that. They are very young.
Yes, let's win them.
Ladies and gentlemen, which started earlier, and they are still outside the city in the outskirts. Can you imagine that? This is the largest tributary of Neva River.
Sunday. In Petersburg.
Building is the oldest building in St. Petersburg. And ladies and gentlemen, I would love to remind you that photo and video is not permitted during the performance. Yes, please do not take pictures. Costumes too, right? Yes, I agree with you very much, sir. Very nice performance. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, we've had an excellent day today with wonderful weather, right? It was the first day that it hasn't been raining, yes? And we should better not say it out loud, not to scare the sun tomorrow, because tomorrow we're waiting.